Welcome to this course on grieving the loss of a pet. I'm psychologist Dr. Tracy Moreno. You'll need pen and paper to go right into the therapy homework at the end of the session. If you don't already have it, you can pause the recording and come back when you're ready. Before we begin, I want to point out that not all this information will apply to you. We all have different experiences and different circumstances. So to get the most out of this course, I recommend letting go of what doesn't apply to you and focus on what does. Some people wonder if grieving the death of their pet is even rational or normal. Well, I can tell you that it's completely rational and completely normal. I've actually seen more clients in therapy over the death of their pet than the death of a human. We must also consider the very special and unique bond we have with our pets that often doesn't exist in our relationships with people. I actually want to say it doesn't exist at all, but I'll leave room for the existence of maybe some relationships with people. In explaining this, my goal is to be able to rationalize and normalize the grief of a pet. The relationship with our pets is truly the epitome of unconditional love. There are no strings attached. There's no ulterior motive, no quid pro quo. They just love us. It's really that simple. And they love us without judgment. Now think of our relationships with people. Does a relationship exist that is even close to this? The only relationship I can think of is that of a parent and child. Parents and children usually love each other unconditionally. However, there are strings attached. There are ulterior motives. And there's definitely judgment on both parts. The strength and intensity of our unconditional love can fluctuate based upon the outcome of these variables. They're there when everyone leaves our pets. They see the parts of us that no one else sees, and they love us just the same. We can spoil them and love on them endlessly. They don't ever want their independence or their freedom. My Cocker Spaniel never asked me for money or stayed out past curfew. My kids used to complain when I wouldn't correct my dog's maybe less than desirable behavior, and instead I would coddle her. My response was always, I don't have to raise her to be an independent, successful adult and a contributing member of society. I guess their eye rolls said it all. But you know what? It's true. Now, given this bond that I've just described, why then wouldn't it be acceptable to grieve the loss of this relationship? In fact, some people grieve more deeply for their pets than they do their human loved ones. Yet there is no bereavement time that we get to take off of work. There is no celebration of life, funeral. There's no support groups. We can't wait for someone to give us permission to grieve. We have to grieve ourselves and give ourselves permission. Trust the bond you've shared with your pet. You are the only one who can determine if that soul was important enough to grieve. You're the only one who can determine if that soul was worthy enough in life to honor in death. If you say yes to both of these, then there's only one option left: to go through the grieving process and know that you're not alone. For your therapy homework, please get your pen and paper. I'd like you to journal what you're feeling right now. It could be about your own emotions, your fear of going through this process, maybe about your pup or your pet and how they changed your life. Write whatever is coming up for you right now. Writing through our emotions, it's an excellent way to process them and release them. In the course classroom, please ask questions, share any challenges or successes you have during this process, provide feedback to me, or give support and encouragement to other participants. This is the end of the session.